usually get a buzz when notifications come out. This is such a nice collection, a perfect match.
It's so pretty. And it has, different colors, so you can use it, if different color themes in your wedding.
Okay, well, Peggy, I just got notification that we're live.
Yay!
So,
yay!
Welcome, Peggy, today. We're continuing our Clean and Simple, and what better theme for Clean and Simple than wedding layouts? And Peggy has 4 wedding layouts from her daughter's wedding, and you're going to get to see how beautiful the bride was in that wedding, and that she's going to talk about, and she's using the collection called A Perfect Match from American Crafts.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure who that was designed by. I don't think we know. I don't think it says.
It says on there.
So anyway, it's a really nice collection. We've got stickers, ephemera, paper packs, 6x8. We've got the thickers, which are the chipboard stickers.
I really love those.
It's a really calm collection, which is perfect for our Clean and Simple series that we're doing. And we've had cards, and we had a little yesterday. Oh, here, I've got yesterday's. Oh, yeah. Yesterday we had kind of like home decor, and we had cards that Maggie made. And now today we got layouts from Chris. We had layouts and cards from our from Peggy today. I'm sorry. We had layouts and cards from Chris to kick it off on Tuesday. And here are the cards from yesterday that Maggie showed us.
Yeah. Oh, the chicken from the sunflower.
I know.
Sunflower summer line. That's cute.
Peggy, you know what? Sandy says, yay, Peggy Day. And Lisa said the same thing.
Well, thank you, guys.
So you should feel really good about that.
You.
That is so nice, you guys.
Yep.
And Laura's here from gloomy Southern California.
Well, Laura, we have a bright, sunshiny day today, and we're excited about that.
I feel like that's a song. Is there a
bright,
song?
Bright, sunshiny day? I think there's some. There's
there
lyrics
is.
to a song
There's
like
the
that.
lyrics, bright, sunshiny day. So anyway, hello, everybody. We're glad you're joining us, and we're really glad that Peggy's here, and she's going to show us some Clean and Simple layouts from her daughter's wedding. And like I said earlier, what better theme than a wedding for lots of white or neutral backgrounds. And we're going to show you that. So Maggie, I really want to show her fish card.
So cute.
It is really cute.
Those fish from All in Crate are adorable.
I don't know how she thought of that, but very fun. So we're going to be doing Clean and Simple for a couple weeks. Yeah, she showed us how to do that yesterday. Yeah. So if you missed it, it will be on our blog, and you can also go back and watch yesterday's video. Now, before we get started with Peggy, I might just leave this here.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, that looks like a good little wedding thing.
I do like it.
Kind of goes with everything.
Make a wish, yeah.
I'll set it over here off to the side.
Very pretty.
Before we get started with Peggy, I just want to make an announcement that Tim Holtz, and most of you know, I can just say Tim, and most of you know who he is. He's going to be tomorrow on his YouTube channel, and he's going to be telling all about his new release from Advantis, or the Ideology release. And we've shown it. We showed it yesterday. Diane had a special video a couple days ago when we got it in. We have it all in stock, and we even have more coming. We're not even out of it, and we reordered it because we know how popular it's going to be. And if you join Tim tomorrow, he will be live on his YouTube channel, and you can see all the makes that his very creative makers design with his product. So be sure and check that out, and I'm sure you can watch it. If you're not available at 11 o'clock, I'm sure you can always watch it later. We always say live or later. And if you're watching it, give a shout out to Memory Bound and let Tim know that you're getting your Tim goods from Memory Bound, and we'll be watching it too. Oh, and Janet, thank you. She just posted a link to Tim's YouTube channel.
Oh, yay. Yay.
He used to do it on Facebook, and then he switched to YouTube. I think there were some problems on Facebook, as many of you know.
Yep.
So we're going to go from Tim to Peggy now.
I like watching Tim's videos. I get so inspired when he shows the makes and things like that. They are just so amazing. I just love them.
Well,
we have a few great makers here too.
We do. So, we do. I love when Tim explains his thoughts behind all of his different new products, and it's a really good release. Lots of colors. I'm really happy with it. I'm pretty excited. And
I know, we don't always see
stuff.
Like all the rainbow colors, the Roy G. Biv. We don't always see that in his stuff.
No, not with
that's
Tim.
Pretty cool.
But he's getting more into that. So we love it, and we sure appreciate Tim in our industry.
And the cello strips.
He really keeps us going in more ways than you know, because he's got so many great products.
He does.
All right.
He
Well,
does.
Peggy, and you have
Wow.
great layouts. So
Here
let's
we
tell
are.
us what
Here
we're
we
back to
are.
clean and simple.
Yeah.
We're going from Tim Holtz to clean and simple.
Yeah,
so
well, as clean and simple as I could make it. As clean and
she
simple
got as
I
clean
could
as
make
she
it.
could.
Yes, I could.
Well, you
I
know what I love. We got to take a picture of you with your layouts because your top is so adorable.
matches.
It's really nice and it's very clean. It's very clean.
It's very
and
clean
simple.
and simple today. I went with clean lines, simple colors.
Very good.
Nothing too flashy. Not that I'm ever flashy, but but yeah, we're going to do the wedding layouts today. And as Kelly had said before, we're using the American Crafts line, A Perfect Match. And when I saw this line, I just thought it had such pretty colors in it. And my daughter's wedding had champagne, charcoal, and a blush color in it. And
that's
perfect.
perfect.
All of these colors are in this collection, and so I was really drawn to it, and I thought it would work really well. And the other thing I was just saying to Kelly too, there are some blues and some greens and blacks and grays within this line, and so for many of the different colors in weddings, I think this line will work.
Wedding lines are very hard because we don't have very many to begin with. And when companies come out with them, they're kind of limiting because you want to kind of coordinate your albums with the colors of the wedding. So it's very hard. And this one I thought was really nice and neutral.
Yeah. I mean, that pink is nice and soft. It has, the gold, and I think a lot of weddings do have some gold in them. Of course, the black, the grays, is real nice neutral colors in there too. So, and I pulled some puffy hearts just in, regular, because
We love
puffy
our puffy
are my
hearts.
favorites, and I used the gold ones in a couple of these layouts, but the white, the black, the silver all will go so well with this line and with wedding. And then I also pulled some different Nouveau drops. Over here I put some of the classic wedding colors, the black, the gold, and then the Morning Dew is the other one that I have there, I think.
So this is White Blizzard.
White Blizzard, okay. Morning
White
Dew's on this
Blizzard,
side,
and then we've got the gold and the black. What's the black called? Ebony. Okay, I was going to say ebony. And the gold, this gold is called bright gold.
Yeah, and we have like 2 or 3 different color golds. But those are like just some real classic wedding colors. And if you're just getting started with Nouveau, I think those are just nice colors to even start with, to start your collection, even if you're not doing wedding, because those are colors that are going to go with a lot of different lines and different themes. But then I also pulled these other 3 colors. What are they? This is Shimmering Rose.
And we have Wedgwood, and this looks like
Morning
Morning
Dew.
Dew. That's just
And
a
I
clear.
just thought those went really well with this line too, with that soft pink and that little, that smoky blue color that's in the line in the gray.
I think
to go in
smoky
there, I
blue
think.
is a great description.
And then I pulled the Lost Shadow ink too, because I used that on the layouts for some of the edging and things like that, and it just really went well with this line. So I pulled that both in oxide and...
See, we got a little bit of Tim Holtz in there after all,
Yes,
didn't we, Peggy?
We did.
He goes with everything.
And before, when I was setting things up, Teresa and I were talking a little bit too about the clean and simple, and that clean and simple does lend itself to having a lot of white space and a little bit I want to say a little bit lower level of embellishment and that sort of thing, not quite as highly embellished as some of my layouts can be at times. But I also think that clean and simple, it doesn't have to be plain and boring. So I think you can, add color and you can, add embellishment, but I think you have to think of, like clean lines within it and having that white space in there and things like that. I think it's a very elegant look, and I think that's why this style of scrapbooking may lend itself to wedding layouts.
That's a great description, Peggy. I
really
love that.
well. I think it's just an elegance about the clean and simple that, you get these beautiful pictures from the weddings, and and there's a lot of detail in the pictures from the weddings, and you don't want to take away from that by putting too much stuff around it. So the clean and simple style, I think, is just a great way to really highlight your photos.
I think it's nice that we've been able to have everyone so far kind of talk about clean and simple and what it means and their interpretation. And hopefully we're going to give our viewers so many different ideas that you can make up your own mind what clean and simple is.
And I think that's great.
And it's refreshing. To me, it's just kind of refreshing.
Yeah, yep. Well, I think we're going to start just with this one right here, this very first one. And this had to be one of my favorite pictures from Mike and Ryan's wedding. Just her reaction after the minister, pronounced them.
She's not
Mr. and
happy
Mrs.
at all,
So
is she?
it's like, yeah, she's saying, let's let the party start. And I also thought one other interesting part about their wedding, if you'll notice, we have a guy on the maid of honor side and a gal on the best man side.
Oh, that is unusual.
So, my kids being twins, my daughter wanted to have, her twin brother as her man of honor in there. So, and then son-in-law's sister as his best woman on that side. So,
that is
I
very
think that was really neat.
special.
But I think it also made it very very unique to them in their wedding, and
I would
and
say
that sort
so.
of thing. So, and it was really funny when we went for the rehearsal. The gal that was kind of coordinating it when it came time to where Micah had to hand her bouquet off to her maid of honor. She kind of looked at Michael and looked at Micah and said, "Well, who's going to hold this?" And Micah looked at her. She goes, "He's got two hands. He can hold it."
Spoken like a sister.
Exactly. The controlling twin. The controlling twin there. She has always been the boss. But
She was the boss.
Oh, she was always the boss.
Was she the oldest?
She was not.
Oh, okay.
She was
She
not.
was born second?
She was the second one born. But she's always been the bossier of the two, and we just let her be that way. But on this layout, I started off, again, clean and simple. They talk about white space. And I've done many layouts that have had a lot of white space. I've never been afraid of white space, but I also like texture a lot. And so when I started this, I started with the background with the paper that had the check. And actually, this one started out, I was going to go this way.
Oh my
with
gosh.
it.
I love it how you do that, because your last demo, you had one that you flipped sideways.
Too. So I started off, started putting it together, and I ran the strip. And that's another great thing about this paper line, are the barcode strips.
Oh, Maggie's going to love hearing
Are
about.
wonderful.
Okay. So check out the barcode strips on this collection.
Barcode strips, yeah. So you'll see that I've used those,
Many of them have.
yeah,
Oh, they all have something fun.
Yeah, they
That's
all
just a
have some really
bonus.
great things on them. So what does this one have? This one has save the date. So if you're doing an engagement album too, you have that. But anyhow,
I love this paper, Peggy.
I do too. I think it's really pretty, and I used 4 of these cut aparts in the process of doing these layouts. But when I ran the barcode strip down, I thought, well, I don't want that to go sideways. So I thought, well, we're going to flip it this way. And it actually worked out better to go this way. So I did like it. The other thing I wanted to use on it, when I saw this cut apart right here, I wanted to use that because I wanted the small black and white stripe. I wanted to use that to kind of frame the photo, but I also wanted this little phrase that said forever and always in it. So I took my X-Acto knife. I took my X-Acto knife and I just cut around that label, just above the black and white stripe, and then I tucked my picture underneath.
So
it.
everybody, the label is printed on the cut apart. That is a trick. That's a good trick for a lot of different pieces.
A 4x6 photo fit right in here just perfectly. So it gives just a little bit of a. It looks like a little bit of a matting, on the top and bottom of the photo. But then you also get these lines here to give it just a little bit. More punch to it too. But I thought that's where I'm going to start is with this cut apart. I'm going to tuck that in there and go from there. And so, and I love the gold in this pattern. This is probably one of my favorite pattern papers. And so I just, created the background that way. And for me, that's it. Even though it's not complete white space, it's still more of a simple thing for me because I'm using solid, paper or solid sheets.
Janet made a very good comment. She says white space doesn't have to be white.
No.
It just means it's blank.
Yeah, it's just a place
Or
to rest
empty.
your eyes. A
So-
place to rest your eyes. And so you guys know how I like to frame things too. Sometimes I just don't feel it's complete until I get that frame on there. So I did it with this, but I also wanted to use this, my heart, my soul, my everything. I just thought that was kind of a neat saying, for as they're being pronounced man and wife here and introduced to the congregation. But this is one of the
that a
thickers.
thicker?
That's one of the thickers.
So let me grab the thickers so we can show what we
Yep.
mean. Thickers is a trademark name for American Crafts for their dimensional stickers. And a lot of times they're alphabets, but in these collections they always have.
And they're a little spongy.
Are they kind of like the foam? Kind of
Yeah,
like.
they're foam.
So, and it's got 2 different 6x12 sheets. So
Yep.
you're getting lots. Big things, little things, all kinds of fun stickeries. So for $6.99, so it's a pretty
And
good.
I used a
pretty good
lot of
bargain.
these because I like the dimension of it. I don't
And
have
that's
to-
part of our collection that we're showing today. A perfect match.
Yep. And so, and these little gold dots are also from that.
I know, isn't that
sheet.
crazy?
And the words I do there too, also come from that. The little X's and O's. So again, I like the X's and O's. This little thin strip here. Again, plain and simple, or clean and simple doesn't have to be plain and boring. You can add a little bit here.
Yeah, and it's right around your photo, so it's still focusing.
Right, you're not moving into all the white space. But then I thought, well, I have to have something, for journaling. So I use this cut apart again, and I use the tag on the cut apart.
And you did it
and I
upside
just turned it upside down because I kind of wanted to tuck it in. And so I just trimmed it out and then printed, their name on there. And then use the word perfect from the sticker sheet again. Let me find that. Right there.
Oh, there it is.
Perfect right on there. And then, of course, my gold little puffy hearts.
Oh, there's the puffy hearts.
Because I didn't want to punch a hole in the bottom of the
And
tag.
that little bow is a nice addition, Peggy.
And I tied a bow all by myself
You
without
did?
anybody's
Oh,
help. So
wow.
Katie, I tied it all by
All
myself.
right, Katie, if you're watching,
Yes, I tied
Peggy
it all by
did
myself. Yeah. And so I had to use it. So I had to use that. So that's why that's on there. And then also in the collection pack, you can get this ephemera package here. And it has some great floral pieces in there.
it does.
And some are bigger, some are smaller. And I liked the bigger ones. So I was able to just use a single piece of ephemera here and here. So I didn't have to add, stems or anything like that. It was still very pretty. And I was able to add that on there. And then it came with these vellum hearts.
Oh, in
as
the same
well.
pack?
Uh-huh.
I didn't even
So-
realize those were vellum, but yeah, those are nice.
And the butterfly too. And I thought, well, I know that clean and simple doesn't use a lot of layering, but my brain cannot think that way.
She got as simple as
So
she could.
I did, and I tried not to layer as much as possible, but still, still retain some of that pizzazz with it too. So I just kind of tucked that in a little bit, layered those a little bit, put the banner
Well,
on
I
there
think the
because I
fact
can't get
that
away with
these,
the banner.
I think the fact that the flowers are white with just the sketch, drawn around them, I think that makes it really nice and clean.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
just-
beautiful layout.
It turned out really nice. And I'll say another thing about these layouts. That usually I'm a very low-lithic scrapbooker. I'm a very slow scrapbooker. It takes me
We know why, because
forever.
your layouts are amazing.
Well, like last week, when I did the sunflower one, and I sat for 2 days trying to figure out a title on the one page. And but these layouts, with the clean and simple, the elegance about them, came together so quickly. I actually did 2 of them one night and 2 of them on another night. And it's like, I never do 2 layouts in a night.
in one night.
Never. But these just came together so well and just smooth and they just, I mean, the collection, I think, helps a lot with that because it just flows together and it matches everything so well. So that's that one.
We have a question.
Sure.
I think we have a request. Can you move your microphone a little bit? Maybe just down a little bit.
Down a little bit.
And then there's a question about how you did your journaling on this tag.
Okay.
And just a reminder, everybody, that is a piece out of the paper here that Peggy cut out. This is called Save the Date.
Yep.
This paper here, and she's used 2 of these pieces on this one layout.
Okay. Am I still on? Okay. Am I better now?
I think we'll try it. We'll give it a
All right.
try.
Okay.
All right. So, but the question is, how did you do your journaling on this tag?
I did it the same way that I do almost all of my other journaling. I decided what I wanted to print out, and I kind of measured the tag to see, how wide I wanted things and how tall I needed to have things. And then I just took my computer, I typed it up in my word processing program, and then I printed it out just on regular printer paper. And then I cut out the tag, and I used the repositionable adhesive, and I put it over the area of the printing on my that I printed out on my printer, my journaling. And then I just stuck that right onto my printer paper and ran it back through my printer.
And it's going to print right over the top of where it printed before.
And I have an OttLight in my scrapbook room, so a lot of times with my printer paper, you can kind of see through it. And so when you put this up to the printer paper, you can kind of see through it to make sure you have things lined up. And that's how I do it. That's how I do almost all of my journaling. Is I print it out on the printer paper first, and then I put the repositionable adhesive on and stick down the paper that I'm going to use, that I want to include the journaling on my layout.
It's a great technique. Diane does that a lot too.
Yeah, it really, I don't waste as much paper, or cardstock or, things like that. I don't waste as much. If it isn't exactly what I want it to be, or if I notice a typo after I've sent it through, I can correct it before I actually put it on my real paper. So that's how I do it. And sometimes I have to do it more than once to get the sizing right and that sort of thing. But that's how I do it. That's how I do it. Yeah.
Very good question.
And sometimes it takes a little bit of practice to do it. And you'll see you rarely see my handwriting on a layout. I just don't like my handwriting very much, so you don't see it very often. So over the years, I've gotten used to doing my journaling with my computer, so it doesn't take me a long time to do it to make things fit. So
perfect.
It's pretty easy for me. So we'll switch, and we're going to go to this layout.
All right.
This one is going to be from the reception, and this one is probably as close to plain and simple, or clean and simple. Gosh, clean and simple as I can get.
I love them. And look at you guys. I want you to
with
see
a tone on tone.
I want you to see Micah's dress because it is beautiful. And Peggy said it was all beaded,
top to bottom. Very sparkly. It was a very sparkly dress. It was a winter wedding, so the sparkle was nice.
Awesome.
So yeah, they got married on 12/13/14.
Did they
so
do that?
9 years?
Did she do that on purpose?
I think so.
There are people that want their dates to be like that.
That way I can remember it. And like I said, even though she's been married for 9 years, she wasn't officially married until I got these layouts done, right? In scrapbook years. But this is one that I've always liked this picture of the toast. I've always kind of enjoyed that. And again, I wanted to use this gold paper because I just love the gold
really
paper.
Like that paper.
I really like it. And I just think, she had enough gold tones in the wedding that I could include that on there. I got this package, which is this is another ephemera one. It has some journaling pieces in it, and then it has vellum in it too, and I really like that as well. So I used a couple of the vellum pieces on here, as well as little banner pieces. I use those, and
they always do
yeah.
more than one ephemera packs.
I really like
and here,
that.
sometimes it's hard to tell which is which, and you just have to look at the pictures
Yeah.
because they're both called ephemera packs, but you can kind of see the difference.
Yep.
Where one of them's got a lot more florals, and the other one's got more tags and
journaling
titles
pieces
and journaling
things. Yep.
pieces.
So that was kind of where I started on this one. I wanted to use this picture. I wanted to use the gold paper. And I thought, well, I need to have that white space, so I'm just going to go down the middle.
That's a
with
great
this.
idea.
And just, have that focus of color just in the middle of the paper, because that way your eyes can rest before you get to it. It can rest after you come across it. So I kind of wanted to do that. I like the look of a column because I think that's just a very clean line within the layout, and so I think that kind of fits with that clean and simple.
It does.
And then I had to Peggy it up a little bit, so I had to add a little bit more. And so of course the photo, I double matted the photo. I thought the black with the black with the black with the black,
It does. It
repeating
really makes
that
it pop.
element there. I thought this is almond cream, I think is what it's called.
Almond cream. It looks like almond cream. That's
Yeah.
a basil cardstock,
And
I thought it does look good with it.
I thought that went really well with the gold and with this is again from the barcode, the barcode strip. And so I really liked that. You guys know how I like to add words, in my layouts. And so the barcode strip was just perfect that way. This is one of the pieces from that journaling ephemera pack that I really liked. It said to the happy couple, and I really liked that. And then it had in love was a vellum piece within that package. So I thought that was really nice in there too.
There it is. I thought that was layered up. Very cool.
So yep, all one piece. And then I did add some honeybee gems in there too.
So there's the vellum piece and the honeybee gems.
And I just used a Nouveau glue to
attach
the vellum because it does dry clear. So I really like that. And I just ran my vellum, with a real fine tip along the gold on the back, so then it went.
Good
it kind of
idea.
hit it a little bit more. So along the gold, and then of course the picture is there. Then this part here, this is again a piece of vellum, a title from that pack, which I really liked. In the thickers, you get one of these little frames. I think it's
Maybe on the back.
yeah, right down here is this frame right here. And in this pack, you also get that,
Oh.
and this fits right behind that.
Oh my gosh.
It's a perfect match. So I start
Do
with
you
that.
know what you just said, Peggy? It's a perfect
the
match.
same- gosh, I didn't even think about that. That's
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
Oh gosh. It is. Maybe that's how they got the name for this collection.
I'm sure it did because of that element.
Yeah. But then I also took, let me see, one of the, I'm not sure which piece it is.
I do think this is nice and clean and simple because you have all that space and you're just focusing on the center of the layout.
Yeah, I think it's this piece right
I'll zoom
here.
in on there's the happy couple vellum piece. And she's got some ephemera there and some more little gems from honeybee.
So I used this piece as well. So right behind here, you can see a little bit of the kind of some gray there. I actually laid this on here.
So she took this frame from the thickers, it's kind of glaring, and put it over the top of the roses.
And trimmed it out.
And this paper is called Love Letters. And
Yes,
look at
it's so.
I mean, that
it's
doesn't
so
even have
pretty.
to be wedding. That's an amazing
And
picture
then I
paper.
used this area in here, right here.
Oh, okay.
That's this area here. So that for that part of the column, I cut that out because I wanted these colors in there too. I wanted to include that in there. And this is just pink hearts, pink and white hearts.
Pink hearts on the
side.
back.
So this was a really pretty piece of paper from this collection as well. I like, I mean, you go from something like this in this collection to something
I know,
like
though
this
I
in
would
this
call
collection.
those totally opposite
So,
papers.
you know, I mean, this is kind of a more fun type of, I don't know, I don't want to say funky, but this is kind of
Maybe
a
more
more relaxed,
whimsical or
yeah,
relaxed or something,
you know,
a little
and then
more
you go
plain.
to then you go to this, and I think this is just so pretty when you do that. And again, the cut aparts.
So
you know,
check
work
out
well.
the collection. Just go out and look at it online and just flip through the papers because they are really different.
So pretty, so pretty. I mean,
they're not matchy-matchy, and they're not all wedding
this
either.
was one of my favorite ones, and you'll see this coming up too. But I love this gray. But look at that side.
Oh, yeah, I love the back.
I mean, this could work for a graduation party too.
Yeah, any type of party.
So,
I think
yeah.
a new baby.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
yes.
that'd be cute for a baby page.
Yep. Yep. Well, and it would go with that pink floral too.
Yes. Okay. There
There's
we
your baby
go.
page.
There it makes
There's
sense.
your baby page. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So
Good point.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to just be wedding. But again, you know, I just used that thicker here to kind of, because I have to have dimension on my pages. That's just part of what I do. I just don't feel right unless I have some dimension. So I used, you know, another one of the banner dies that come in one of the ephemera packs. You get 3 of them in there, so I use them because I like them. And they're just kind of a nice subtle little detail along with that. Again, the honeybee gems here, and along here. And then, you know, the bar code strip is there, then the gold. And then these banner strips came with the journaling ephemera pack.
Oh, okay. So
And
those
they're
you
right
didn't
in
have
there.
to cut. They're
Nope,
right.
They're right in there.
Right in here.
They're right in there. And the reason I have this black strip coming across here is because there are holes in them.
Oh, so you covered up the holes. Good idea.
so you could, you know, string them along if you wanted to. So I just wanted to cover up the holes, and it also gave me just that, you know, another place to put the black, you know, for an accent color, and then of course the puffy hearts to go in there to accent that. And then once I got that done, then I looked at it and I thought, it needs a little bit more because it's a Peggy layout, so it needed more. And so I decided I was going to frame it using that same,
I love
the
that
same
you did it
as
in the same paper.
Yeah, the same paper. And then I decided to take my little heart punch that I have at home and just punch some little hearts. So, I mean, if you have a little heart die cut, if you have, you know, you could use stars, you could use flowers, you could use, you know, whatever you want to do this. But I just thought that just, you know, gave it a little more of a border. But again, I stayed within the tone. So I stayed within the tone with the gems. I stayed within that tone with the hearts. And so
Looks good.
I just think it you know, bumped it up just a little bit
It
more.
did. It kind of. I like it.
Again, you know, plain and simple, doesn't have to be dull and boring. It just doesn't have to.
I think
It
why
can be
we're
very
doing
pretty like
these
that.
layouts as we move to the next layout, I think we should ask people for fun wedding stories if you have them.
yeah.
Elena said that they got married on Flag Day so that her husband would remember their anniversary. And
Good job.
I know
Good job.
Doug and I have both forgotten our anniversary at times. So if you have a good wedding story, share it here and I'll try to chime in and share it.
Yeah, my husband always got confused on our wedding. He couldn't remember if it was 4-5 or 5-4.
Oh,
And and thankfully Star Wars came out, and you know, may the 4th be with you. May the Force be with you. So now he remembers that our wedding anniversary is on May 5th.
oh.
Or May 4th.
May
I got that
4th.
wrong.
Oh,
May
Peggy,
4th.
you're
Jeez.
confused.
Cinco de Mayo. I May 5th. I need that drink.
Yes, yes. So you were born on the Star Wars day then. I mean,
We were
not
married.
born. See,
Yep.
I'm confused too.
I know it.
So you're
Because
married.
we were just talking about baby layouts.
I
yes,
think that's
we were
it.
married
So
on
you
May
were
4th.
married. Oh my gosh. Well, that's a good way
May
to
4th,
remember it.
A bright sunny day, 39 years ago.
Well, congratulations. You just had an anniversary
It was
then.
very windy out that day. I remember that. It was very windy. But yeah, we had a great day. It was a good time.
Awesome. Well, may the 4th be with you
Yeah.
always. And
Yes.
happy anniversary,
Yes,
Peggy.
we got that. Got that going
And
for
that
us
was on
anyway.
National Scrapbook Day.
Yes,
There was
it
a lot
was.
going on. It was the
We had a
Kentucky
lot doing-
Derby,
yeah.
your anniversary, National Scrapbook Day. May the 4th be with you.
I got a kick out of I ended up having to babysit the little boys that night. on the 4th because Mike and Ryan were going to a wedding, and they were going to a wedding. Of course, it was our anniversary, and Micah texted me and she said, "Mom, you're not going to believe this, but the couple that was getting married, the groom's parents were also celebrating their anniversary that same day, so May 4th. So the groom's parents got married that day.
Gosh.
Bride and groom, and then my husband and I had gotten married. The groom's parents were celebrating 39 years, just like my husband and I did.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
it's a small world. Well,
it is.
It's kind of similar to what Cindy just said, that she married her husband on July 19th. And her daughters were married on April 19th and May 19th. So that's their lucky number.
19.
Good
yep.
garage code number, I would say.
There you go. There you go. Right?
And Paula said that their best man tried to pull the ring out of his vest pocket and went flying off and almost went down the heat register. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that would have been awful. That would have been awful.
There's probably so many stories.
Well, my kids were ring bearer and flower girl in a wedding when they were 3, and as they're coming down the aisle, there's that elastic strip on the bottom of the pillow.
Oh, yeah.
So Michael has the pillow, and he's kind of flipping the plastic, elastic thing, and all of a sudden the pillow just goes flying behind him, and so they both turn around, they go get the pillow and turn around.
Oh, that's funny.
But, so
there's
always
those are the
stories.
Good stories. Those are the stories that people need to have in their scrapbooks, because those are the family stories to pass on.
Yep.
And they get better. The older the stories get, the better they become.
Yep. Well, we're going to go to this.
This is beautiful too. Oh my
to
gosh.
This one. So on this one, this has always been one of my very favorite photos from her wedding day. I just thought it was just it's really a great representation of Micah and Ryan, and just kind of who they are, and kind of the whimsy in their life and things like that. I thought our photographers did a great job catching those moments, and so this is one of my favorite photos, as I said, and I love that it's in black and white. Again, I think the black and white is a very elegant look for a wedding photo, as well as I love color ones. I've got the color ones over here, the black and white over here. I think this is just really pretty. And when I started with this one, I knew I wanted to have a big focus on the photo, on the one photo. So I made that photo into a 5x7, and I was just going to put it in the middle of the sheet. And I was actually, in my head, when I first started, I was going to use like hexagon shapes in this same pattern, and just go tone on tone and kind of go across the page. Well, then when I sat down, I got my dies out, and I thought, I don't really want to do that. That isn't really what I want to do. And I'm looking at this cut apart sheet, and I'm thinking, I really want to use this.
Oh my gosh, that's where Love Notes came from.
I really want to use that. So I decided I was going to use it. And so I just cut it out, and that became, part of the photo mat.
Yes,
so
I
just
love
kind of an extension. I wanted to, because this is 4x6, so I had the 6 inches here. I knew that it could be taller than what my photo mat was for the photo, because the photo was the 5x7, so the 5. And I could still double mat and use a wide mat for that second one, and still have a little bit of this layer come in above and below the photo, and that was kind of what I wanted to do. I also inked it with the Lost Shadow, which I think is just so
Lost Shadow.
So
it's really
pretty
nice.
with this. It's just
very
very
subtle.
soft. So that was kind of where I started with that. I knew I wanted to use the thickers. And one of the reasons I bought the thickers was because of these two words.
Look how big that is. And you put it right on your photo, which is really, really cool.
I wanted to really frame them on there. So, and I really liked how it came out. I actually even used dimensional foam underneath it, because I used this frame to come around it. And so in order for it to lay flat, I had to put some dimensional foam behind this, to even it out from here. So what
Peggy's talking about is this frame is also on foam.
Yes.
The little scallop frame. So when you stick the story to it, it's going to she needed extra foam behind the top of the storyboard.
Right, right. Just to make it lay flat there. And
you got your dimension.
I did. I got my dimension in there, and I still, was able to keep the clean lines.
Yeah. Yes,
with
I would
it.
agree.
And I knew that, the frame pieces here, they weren't going to be big enough to go completely around my 5x7 frame. They'd be big enough to go around a 4x6, but they're shorter.
I would have never thought of this, Peggy.
They're a little bit shorter to do that. So using the ephemera pieces here, I was able to kind of scooch this one over a little bit. So, I mean, if you look behind here, this one probably starts about right there. But I'm able to scooch it over, I could hide that. So that made it a little bit easier, to even things out, make it, I can't even
more
think of the word.
symmetrical.
Yeah, more symmetrical on there, so that everything, looked like it was, cut to the right length, even though some of the pieces were a little bit shorter. But then I used a Tim Holtz stamp that I had at home. And I kind of did the Alicia method, where you just, just slap it on there. So I just wanted a little bit around there.
And that's Lost Shadow.
Yeah,
So
Lost
she's talking
Shadow
about
again.
This little background.
Yeah. So just a few
You could
little
do that
dots
with a
there.
stencil or a stamp.
Exactly. And
It's not really anything. It's just a blob behind
yeah,
your
it is. Just to give it, a little bit more texture.
Yeah,
a little more
it.
depth.
It's really neat.
To it, and then the honeybee gems around there too.
Our gems, everybody.
Because I wanted, over here I use, the cream colored ones. Here I'm using the darker colored ones, and I just really liked how they came out.
They just kind of make everything good.
Yep. And then, another one of the foam stickers down here too. So, I have my white space around here.
Yeah.
Again,
Looks nice.
when I got it done, I thought it needs a frame, so then I had to cut 1/4 of an inch off all the way around because, I don't plan ahead. And then I put the gray color vibe behind it too. So I thought that worked out well.
Yeah, you don't. You don't even notice the color vibe.
No, you kind of stop
maybe
at
when
the
it's
black.
yeah, I think you do.
You kind of stop at the black, but
Maybe if it was in an album, maybe it would be more noticeable. But it just kind of makes it all work.
But yeah, I just, that black, that gray, that kind of, off-white in there, I just thought really played to the photo, really complimented the photo. I like how the T, I could kind of put that around Ryan's foot.
Oh, yeah.
To kind of frame that in,
I see
to
that
frame
now,
them.
yeah.
Frame them in there, with that. So, and, her bouquet actually had some blush and pink in it too, so with the white. So these were really nice dye pieces, ephemera pieces to use to bring in some color to that, because it does give it just a little bit of a color pop too, rather than everything being black and white.
Yeah, it's nice. Your layouts. Everyone's commenting about your layouts, Peggy. They know if you're here, we're going to have beautiful layouts.
Well, thank you. Yeah. It truly is. I think we, as scrapbookers, we all know that when we create layouts, of ourselves, of our family, that what we're really doing, it's really a labor of love for us. It's, the legacy that we want to leave for our family, and the stories that we want to tell. And to me, on Mother's Day, I regress a little bit here.
That's okay.
On Mother's Day, we met the kids for brunch, and Micah had the little boys fill out this questionnaire for each of the grandmas. And one of the questions was something about what kind of work does Grandma do? And my oldest grandson said that my work is scrapbooking.
Oh.
And I thought, oh, you know how much I love this, and you know how much I enjoy, the pictures and things like that. And so I was really touched by that.
That is sweet.
Now, my other grandson, when it came to what is something that Grandma says a lot, and this is from the week that I spent with him just a couple weeks ago.
She spent a whole week with them.
I did. And he said, this is my 4-year-old grandson that says that one of my favorite things to say is, it's time to take a bath. Sometimes Grandma just needed a break.
It's
So it was time to take a bath.
bath, and
A bath,
I think
yeah.
movies are always
Movies,
a break
yeah.
for Grandma.
We had movie night and we had baths a lot. So,
That's
but
funny.
I got a big kick out of that.
That's so cute.
They did. They were so sweet.
Before you go on to your next layout, there's a couple comments here
Sure.
that I want to share with you. Janet said that she had terrible weather on her wedding day, that the tornado sirens went off
Oh, Janet,
when they were
I've been in
driving to the church.
basement.
They were driving to the church still.
Man.
And Pam had 7 nieces, and they were all flower girls. So could you imagine all those little girls and how they must have felt being the, beautiful dresses and flowers.
Gosh, yes, the frilly, pretty, twirly dresses, and oh gosh,
And
how neat
JoJo
is
is
that?
working on her wedding album again.
Good.
So that is
good.
this is perfect timing then.
Well, I hope there's a couple of ideas you can take from today, JoJo, and incorporate in your. I have a cousin that we call JoJo. Her name is Joanne, but we call her JoJo all the time. Yeah, always
And
have.
this is a good one too. Gail said it was her first year of teaching, and her first graders sat in the front row without their parents at her
how
wedding. Isn't that
neat.
sweet?
What a wonderful memory.
Isn't that?
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And those
I
kids
love
probably
that.
remember it.
Yeah.
And Karen said she got married in February, and it was in Iowa, everybody.
Yep.
So they had a blizzard on Friday night, no electricity at the church. So the minister, oh my gosh, the minister rode a snowmobile to her parents' house
Oh my word.
and married them on that day, and then they repeated their vows on Sunday. So she's got 2 anniversaries.
Oh wow.
I think that means 2 presents.
I do too. I do
So
too.
aren't
I think
those
that's
great
like
stories?
2 weeks worth of shopping for an anniversary gift.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thanks for sharing those, you
Yes.
guys.
Oh, I
That is
love
really
it.
great.
I love that. I know so many great stories, and remember to get those things written down.
I
Write
know.
'em
We
down
think we'll
because,
remember them,
yeah.
but
But sometimes we forget to tell those stories to our kids, and they're not going to pass them on either, and things. So, yeah, it's just, the stories are, they're unique to you, and I think that's why it's so important to share them. So we'll go on to our final layout here.
This is so
and this
sweet.
is the father-daughter dance, obviously, my daughter and my husband. And again, when I talk about, my daughter's kind of whimsy, she really is very much her very own person, and when it came to her wedding, she was very adamant about the song that she wanted to dance to with her dad, and it was a Beach Boys song, and it's a song that was played in our house quite a bit as the kids were growing up, and it is "God Only Knows," and so it's not your typical father-daughter dance song, but it was fitting for them, and so I wanted to include the words of the song on the layout.
That's a great idea.
Because I
include
just
the
thought
words.
it was, rather than just say, what the title of the song was or who sang it or anything like that, I wanted to be able to include those words because it was the words that were important to her, not so much, the melody or anything like that, but it was the words of the song that made her choose that as the song that they danced to. And again, I'm going back
that paper has
I'm going back
been-
to this cut apart right here.
And that's the save the date paper from A Perfect Match from American Crafts.
And it has, the other side has this great line, which is what I use behind that frame.
Oh, yeah, that is.
So,
okay, so this is the back.
Yep.
So she used one of the other cut aparts here and flipped it around.
Yep. So, over the course of these 4 layouts, I used 5 of the 6 cut aparts.
Amazing.
So, I think the back side of that is what this one is. But I wanted to have a special occasion on there. I wanted to have those words on there at the top. And then I wanted to, just have the words of the song written in here. But I still wanted to show this lacy edge to it. So when I did my the journaling on there with the words to the song, I had to measure, how wide of a
so
strip
you
I
could
had
do,
here.
just like you talked about earlier, how to do it.
Right. And then I also cut this down. On this one, I decided that the focus was going to be on this block. So if I wanted to include another photo or 2 or something like that, I could do that. If it's, if you just wanted to add another photo and then a title or something like that, there's room, for 4 at least 4 photos on here. And initially it was just going to be a square block. I was just going to use 4 4x4 squares. So it was going to be, 8x8 on here. But then when I got to these cut aparts and when I, was looking at the title and things, I decided that it balanced better if I made this 5 inches long. It's 4 wide, 5 long. These are 4x4. This is 5 long.
Just to fit it all. Yeah, that sounds
just
good.
to get it right, and that way I could also include a little bit of embellishment with it and that sort of thing. So that's why they're not, all 4x4. I just thought the 5 just added just a little bit, more balance since this was on the bottom. It made it, make it a little heavier that way. So, and the words fit really well. I mean, I needed that length for the words. So, I really love how this one came out. I love this part up here on this paper that's printed on the paper.
Can you get
I thought
the
this was a
paper
nice.
to show us the paper, Peggy? It looks like it's in the...
Yep. It is right here.
She's got all the papers laid out. We have them all individually, or you can get them in a pack.
And again, like Janet had said earlier, when we talk about the background, and I wanted, the texture of the background, so I didn't want, just the solid cardstock with the background, especially with the wedding one. I wanted that because I also think it gives a little more elegance to some of these. And so having the words, just the small print on here gave me a little bit of texture. I like how, there's a little bit of color, that looks like, I've inked it on there. So I kind of like that, kind of a little color wash through there. So I kind of like that. Up here it looks like there's a little bit of washi tape or, the cello tape up there. And I really like that. And so when I decided I was going to then use the warm white and the almond cream again to do a matte for this block, but then I thought it needed just a little more color because I added a little color with this banner down here.
Yeah, that looks good.
And so there's another strip in the ephemera package of this blue. And I thought that just kind of ties those two things together, and I really liked how that one came out. And then I used, when we go back to our thickers, because I used a lot of these thickers. I just really liked them.
Oh, the flowers?
No, the frame.
Oh, the frame. Okay.
The frame. I used this little frame.
There's the frame.
Here. Because, it would have been fine without the frame, and that was really how it was going to be. But then I thought, well, why not use the frame to give it just a little bit more? So I did that.
The title.
And then, I was able to then pop the title up there because this is really very thin. That laser cut is very thin, so if I wanted to put like foam tape behind it to pop it up, it was going to be hard to do.
Yeah, it was
going to be difficult.
That's perfect.
And
I love that on the frame.
And I like, that dimension. So I just used my Nouveau glue just on these little areas here and kind of just laid it out there and just stuck it on. So that brought it up. And then the foam stickers.
Or the puffy?
Puffies.
The flowers are puffy stickers?
Yeah, the flowers are from the puffy stickers.
So the frame is from the thickers.
Yeah, frame is from the thicker.
And then she's got the puffies.
The puffies are the flower bouquets. And I thought the flower bouquets just, added a little bit more color.
And they're beautiful.
Then in the journaling ephemera, there are the gold hearts.
Oh, okay. All right.
And those were just tucked
there's her gold hearts
underneath there.
So just kind of adding little
just
pieces
a little bit
from
of
here
detail.
and there.
Again, you don't have to be dull and boring to be, clean and simple.
No, you don't.
So you can add your little details to it. And, again, because this is already printed on the paper, I didn't have to worry about adding any more around there.
No, it looks really good. So the idea is how you can build a block and then pop it on your layout.
Yep.
And we have a couple more stories.
Sure. I love the stories.
Let me see. Lisa said her best friend was getting married at her home by the mayor, but found out last minute the house was outside the city limits, because it was just across the street from it. So they got married. So they got married at the house, and then we had to go to the park for the real wedding. they got married twice. They loved each other
wow.
so much they got married twice. Oh my
Isn't
gosh.
that funny that they couldn't do it in the house because it
Yeah.
was on the wrong side of the street? Oh, goodness.
And then Jerry, this is really funny. Her parents lived across the street from the church and that they got married in, and Aya was playing football that day.
Oh.
So every time they needed her dad for pictures, someone had to go get him from across the street.
I might know a few people that are like that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And JoJo got married on Clearwater Beach, and her name's Joanne, but she goes by JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's just like my cousin.
How sweet,
yep.
you guys. Thanks for sharing that.
Yes, I love that. I love that we got
That
to
is
hear
really,
all these
really
stories.
good.
It's neat, 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 neat.
Well, and Peggy, your layouts are amazing too.
Well,
and
thank you.
If you got your wedding pictures and you haven't done anything with them, this should
Get
be a
this
little
collection
inspiration.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, we can kind of show, if we have time, we can show some of these papers. So,
Okay.
I'm just going to grab them and you
Yeah,
can
just
show
pull
'em.
them down
So
and
you
we
can
can
see
show
what,
them.
what you get in the collection. There's a couple different
Like-
cut apart sheets.
Like many
and-
of the American Crafts collections, they're not necessarily matchy-matchy.
Right.
They they go together,
Yep.
and some match more than others, but
Right.
they're not what I would call matchy-matchy,
Right.
which I really like. And they
I
don't
do too,
have
because-
to be for weddings.
Right. And, I mean, this is a birthday party. It can be a birthday party. It can be like the background here. It would have worked really well. And then, of
And
course, my
that's the
favorite
gold that she really liked, and that's called tying the knot.
Yep.
And all of these are online in the category Perfect Match. You'll be able to see them all up close there.
And you'll see that, in these layouts, I used quite a few of these papers. And this one is Save the Date, and that's the one with the cut-aparts that I really love so much. And this mint is just such a pretty color, and I love the I do across that. And this is the Vows. And again, that one's just
I
so
really
pretty.
like this one because
too.
I like it when they mix gray and tan together.
And look at how well that goes. I mean, Endless Love. And that's the background that I used.
And
on a
endless
couple
love
of
for
them.
Kimberly because it's her 34th anniversary today.
Well, happy anniversary,
Yeah.
Kimberly. So we have the party paper for you today.
That's called the
So,
reception. That looks like
the
a reception.
And then has that gray with it. And then Love and Full Bloom. I mean, these, the ephemera
You
pieces
could
are
fussy
those
cut
flowers.
those if you want, or you could get the ephemera.
Yep. And then this is not really a black. It's kind of a greeny black.
It
I
is,
think.
and it's not perfect. They're
No.
not perfect.
And again, we talked about this one kind of being a little whimsy, with
That's love letters.
love letters. And then this one, I really like this one for a background too. And I wanted to incorporate this in somehow. I just didn't get it done. But that's the Endless Love. That's the stripe again. We already did that.
See, you really liked it, Peggy,
I
because you
did.
got two of them.
The green, I thought this was a very pretty green. I mean, if you have an
It
outdoor
is.
wedding, I think this would be a very pretty background. It's called Best Wishes, and it's just really pretty. And then it goes to a
Ooh,
really
that's like a
dark one.
greenish
There's a
teal.
couple dark ones. So that, we'll go that way.
Bouquet toss.
So again, if you want to do some fussy cutting here,
Yeah.
I mean, really pretty. It really goes with the blue in it. And then this one, Our Day, I think is a great bar cut. And again, more cut aparts. So I think these are, these would be great to use. You can use a lot of these with your journaling or,
I love
cut the
cut-aparts.
strips.
Yeah, I love.
I think they're wonderful. These can be your little titles too. So I think that's really a great piece. Oh, and then I just grabbed this one again too.
And Kim says their anniversary was Tuesday, 47 years.
47 years. Wow.
Congratulations.
Yes. So there's all the papers that go with
That,
this collection. The
it's
papers are very
they're
pretty.
very fun. It's just
Yeah.
a different collection.
Yep.
And wedding items are hard to find, so I'm glad. And Peggy stocked up on all of this for us. She got it all ordered, so we are stocked up on it. And we have, let's see, a question. Let's see. Karen has a question about finding the directions for Cindy's paperclip ideas. She knows she's packing tape. We'll have to look for that. Now, Maggie did paper clips just a couple weeks ago, and they're very similar to Cindy's. She didn't use the packing tape because I don't think she actually showed that one, but Annette Green, if you go to Facebook and search on Annette Green, she has directions also to all the paper clips. So if we can't find them for you, then that would be a good way to do it. And then I think Peggy was going to mention
I'm
one more thing.
going to mention one more thing. I'm going to say congratulations to Katie's son, Jack. He won the 400 yesterday at the state track meet and ran, was it the fourth fastest time in the state?
I believe it was,
I think it was the fourth, 46, what was it? I had it on my phone just a minute ago. Let me find it. But amazingly fast. He's very talented. He'll be headed to Kansas. He ran a 47:38, which was the fourth all-time in Iowa. So
That's
congratulations,
amazing. I know a lot
Jack
of you
Belding.
have been, we've been talking about Katie's, has two boys, that one's graduating from college and one high school. And Jack has had a very successful track career, and he's ending his high school career this week because of the state track meet, and he did super well.
Yep, and he's running in a couple events today, and he'll run in a few more tomorrow too.
So we know where Katie's at. You know why Katie is not at Memory Bound.
Yep.
Okay.
So cheer on Jack.
And we got one more comment from Mary. She says, I dislike mice and snakes. Yeah, I can see that.
I do too.
She said they had 2 flower girls and 2 ring bearers, and during the service, the little ring bearers started giggling and running around. Unknown to her, they were chasing a mouse that was running around the train of her dress.
Oh my.
She said the minister stopped the wedding and had the little ring bearers taken out.
Oh my Lord.
She said she's 57 years. Congratulations. Wow. She still doesn't like mice.
No, I'm with you on that one. I don't either.
Oh my word. So congratulations to Jack. We're all super happy for his success.
Yes.
For sure. And congratulations to Katie and her family for the success of raising two fine
boys,
young men that are moving on. So thank you, Peggy. This has been great. Loved your simple layouts for wedding. And a lot of us have wedding pictures, including myself. I've never done my own wedding or either of my kids. I don't even have pictures of my kids' weddings. So you're making me want to get those printed and get going on it.
Yep.
And then remember, everybody, that tomorrow Tim Holtz is going to be on his YouTube channel at 11 o'clock Central Time, and it'll be the official release of the new Ideology 2024 Every Day, which we have already. And Teresa's going to grab some.
And I need one of these.
Teresa needs it all. And let's say welcome back to Teresa. It's her first day back, and we're so happy she's here.
Yes, we are.
Good to be back.
So welcome back, Teresa. And everybody have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. And we'll be back on Monday for more Clean and Simple. And we'll see you then.
Fun. Yep.